Welcome back. Now, after the dust settles on the birth of a baby, the decision of what form of childcare you need to avail of comes surprisingly quickly into view, with creche one of the most popular options out there for parents.
Here with some helpful advice on choosing the right creche option for your little one is Teresa Heaney, CEO of Early Childhood Ireland. Good morning to you, Teresa.
Good morning, Teresa.
Morning.
It's quite the minefield, isn't it? Particularly for first-time parents. You've got first baby and you're getting ready to go back to work, and there's a lot of different options out there, isn't there?
There's a lot of different options, but one of the things I would say that's even more worrying for parents now, apart from the cost issue, and we know that that's a big issue, is also availability and accessibility, because there are now, it would seem, the size of the early years sector is now at capacity. So a lot of parents would be reporting that they're finding it hard to find a place even that's close to home. And so that's an issue. And so now you hear parents saying that the first person that they tell after their partner that they're expecting a baby is the creche.
It's the creche.
Yeah, and trying to find a place. And I think that is a reality for a lot of parents, I'd say, particularly maybe in more urban areas. It's becoming more and more difficult. So you really want to be sure that you're getting a place that is working for you. And it's great to be able to have a conversation this morning about that.
So let's go through then what the options are and what are the questions that you should be asking.
So typically there are three types of settings. Probably the most popular actually is childminding, but a lot of parents, new parents maybe, are a bit reluctant about childminding because a lot of childminding settings aren't inspected and aren't regulated.
So when you say childminding, this is like a local lady or a local man who...
somebody that looks after your child in their own home.
On a more casual kind of basis.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's casual, sometimes it's formal. I suppose that depends on the childminder and depends on the parents. I mean, we would certainly advocate that if you're going for a childminding option, that you should have a good conversation about the training that the childminder has, about their insurance, about
Garda vetting,
about what they do with the children all day, but what kind of food they're going to serve. So it's good to keep it as formal as you can, even if it is, even if it's a childminding setting. The same kinds of questions that you would ask, because it's reasonable to expect that a childminder will be as professional as a preschool service or as a creche. And
say, for example, in a less formal setting, is it that people don't feel comfortable asking those questions?
I think it is. I think that a lot of parents maybe feel that they're a bit vulnerable to the childminder, or feel that at some level that maybe they're doing them a favour, and you don't want to jeopardise the relationship. So it's very relationship based, but given that it's very relationship based, it really needs to work for the parent as well as the childminder.
And the other two options, we had them on screen a moment ago. Sessional was the first option.
Sessional services are your typical Montessori, your play school, your preschool, and they run for 3.5 hours a day. And then the other is a creche, which runs for more than 5 hours a day. And that will
depend on what your plan is in terms of you going back to work, how much of the care, how much of your day will be needed.
Yeah, and for some families, they'll choose a setting because maybe they have 2 children, or they have children going to after school. So they'll want to go to a service maybe that operates a full wraparound, that opens in the morning at 7 o'clock and maybe has a bus, brings children to and from school, and is open till 6 in the evening. So it's really important as a parent that you work out what it is that you and your family need.
An issue that is huge when it comes to childcare, we both know this with 7 kids between the two of us, that there are options there in terms of help from the state.
There are.
And it used to be a free year, now it's free. Can you explain what the free year or 2 years is now?
So there are now a number of funding options. There's the ECHE programme, it has become known as the ECHE programme, and that started as the free preschool year. That is now the free preschool programme, and it runs for 2 years. So when a child turns, I think it's 2 years and 8 months, so from that following September, they're entitled to their first year and the subsequent year. The rule is that for most children, not all children, but for most children, they have to finish their preschool programme by the time they're 5.5, because by law in Ireland, children have to start national school by the time they're 6. So that's the preschool programme.
So you need to work back from there. So when do parents need to register their child for those free 2 years, Teresa?
So, I mean, I would say that as soon as you identify a service that you like, I think it's worthwhile getting on that waiting list, because there is also an issue at the moment about accessibility for sessional places. Again, it's more acute in more urban areas. But certainly if you, because of word of mouth, or because you've got another child, or because you know, it's next door to your primary school, whatever the reason it is, I think it's probably worthwhile going to the open days. Like, so for example, this week, loads of parents are going to open days all around the country,
Yes.
but they'll already have enrolled their child maybe last year to begin this forthcoming September. So I'd say I wouldn't delay. If you find a place that you think that you like and will work for you, I think I'd be getting my name on that.
Get the name
And
down.
that's huge as well, Teresa. You mentioned it, you know, word of mouth. You know, we do it when it comes to going to the movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen that film, or have you eaten that place? So when it comes to childcare, and even if it's a local informal setting, talk to somebody else who's had a child through that process, through that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to go on more than word of mouth, though, because we have a lot of regulations in early childhood education. We have early year services are inspected by TUSLA. They're also inspected by the Department of Education. Those inspection reports are up online. And there are good questions to be asking to help you identify maybe what the quality of a service is like. Certainly looking at the inspection reports is a really important thing to do. Going on to my own organisation, Early Childhood Ireland, going on to our website, having a look at the tips, the kinds of questions to be asking. And some of the questions might be, again, about their operating hours and the cost. But what's your staff turnover like?
Yeah.
That's a good question. What the qualifications of your staff are. What's your policies and procedures about being outdoors? How much choice do the children get?
And
What's
food,
your menu?
huge thing. Yeah.
What's your menu? How much fresh food is there? How much processed? You know, is there cakes? Are there sweets? You know, so the things that are important to you as a family. You know, for example, finding out what the routine is about getting outside to play. Is it when it's not raining? Because actually children will tell you that the best time to be outside playing is when there's rain and muck outside. So, you know, what are the policies about those
messier
things?
conditions, the
Yeah,
better.
the messier, the better.
But
absolutely.
I think I know there's Montessori and high scope and the Steiner method and all that kind of stuff. But would it be fair to say when you visit a number of different creches and you have a walk around them, there's a gut instinct that says this is the right place for me?
There is. And, you know, the gut instinct, though, is underpinned, I suppose, by our frameworks. We have a Childcare framework in Ireland, which is our quality framework, and we have an Astra framework. And the Astra framework sort of envisages children exploring. It wants to see children communicate and learn how to explore, learn how to think, learn how to communicate. And they're saying, and it suggests that the best way to do that is through play and through warm, enriched, loving relationships. So that warmth, I think, is what parents want to see.
Yeah.
That feeling,
Kindness is just so important,
warmth,
isn't it?
relationship, time, and very much what's another thing that's very important to see is that the routine and the curriculum evolves from what the children are interested in, as opposed to on the 10th of September every year we do this. That's not what you want to see. You want to be seeing a programme that changes.
So there's lots of sensible questions on your website,
Loads,
Teresa.
Yeah, earlychildhoodireland.ie is our website, and and we have a helpline for parents as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Solid
Good to see you,
advice.
Teresa.